Hey, this is Vu, and this is going to be 4 levels of clutching from beginner to professional, and I've brought in an actual CS pro to add in something at the end. But to begin with here, we've got Havino, who is a beginner level player at Gold Nova 1, and he's going to get into a clutch here in a moment, but the context is always important as to how you get there. So what he does in this situation, he makes his way up on a catwalk. He's going to pick up actually a couple of kills here from catwalk, and he's going to end up into a 1 versus 2. Now, it wouldn't have been a bad idea here for him to relocate now, because he's already got a couple kills from up on catwalk, and although there will be time passed before he actually makes another engagement, typically you want to reposition as quickly as possible once they know where you are in these low number situations. Instead, he's going to stay up here on catwalk, his teammate's going to die, and he's actually going to get a freebie first kill onto the player coming through truck. The trouble is afterwards. He's going to get this kill, and he's going to back up into the corner and stay exactly where he is, which just gives his opponent a free kill. Clutches are a lot about managing expectations and trying to catch your opponents off guard, and if you get a kill, you always want to be trying to relocate to make sure that they don't know where you are, and you can force a 1v1, and not only a 1v1, but a 1v1 where you have an advantage. When you have a situation like this where you get a kill from up on catwalk and you stay in that corner, the player is almost always going to win that round because you have a bunch of angles you have to be worried about, and he only has one. If he had simply dropped off of catwalk and tried to move out of position immediately after getting the first kill, he would have had a much better chance to win that round. So we're going to have a look at another round here from Havino again. This time it's going to be a 2v2. I'm typically looking at 1vx's here. However, this one kind of exemplifies what you need to be doing in a clutch, and it shows it from an attacking perspective because they're on the T side now. And he's made some noise into Z here. He doesn't really know where either of these players are. I think he knows one is A and one is B. Really, he should be trying to stick with his teammate here if he can. However, his teammate actually decides to come back around and stick with him, which is just as good, but they were quite split up, kind of unnecessarily. In this type of situation, if you stick together and kind of battering ram into a bomb site almost, just ensure that you get the trade, you should essentially win the round because your opponents are likely to be split up 1A, 1B. You get the quick trade onto the A player, plant the bomb, and you can get into an after plant before the rotate is there. But again, the idea is necessary to keep in mind. You are trying to limit their information so that you can do that play. Instead, he tosses down a smoke there that doesn't actually do almost anything. And as he makes his way over to A, he goes for the peek that is kind of a weak peek there, doesn't really clear out the angle very effectively, and he's too far away from his teammate for his teammate to get to the trade. Now we've got the 1v1, free bomb plant for Sire as he knew the location of his opponent, but now he's got himself trapped in the bomb site as Siu has actually spotted him out on the cross. So smart play to try to get across. He could have jiggled that instead of, just jumping across, and we're going to see Siu saves his gun. So we're going to switch over to an intermediate level game here with Bleus and Wonder. Bleus, of course, in MGE, but we're going to be focusing on the 1v2. It's just a pretty big mistake that Bleus makes here in the 2v2. So in the 2v2, he knows that Wonder has lurked his way out through apartments, and he's well aware that the CTs know that they were going for a CT to B play. So really, in this type of situation, he could have actually just posted in CT and considered going back to A, allowing Wonder to flank anyone that was kind of trying to rotate through CT. But instead, he decides to continue to force over to B, which doesn't really make too much sense. There's plenty of opportunity for one of these CTs to actually be on B still, and he just dies. And the worst thing that's going to happen is he's going to force the bomb plant here with his teammate nowhere near. So this player here on Banana is going to kill him as he's planting. If they actually knew where Wonder was, he could have actually just let Bleus plant the bomb and then defused it. There was no way Wonder could have actually helped. However, he didn't really know where Wonder was, so of course he didn't know that he had that opportunity. And now in the 1v2, Wonder is in a horrific spot here. He has no idea where either CT is. He doesn't have a ton of time, 45 seconds. It's not great. He has utility, but he can't use it because he has no idea where they are, and he has to retrieve the bomb. This is just about as bad as a 1v2 can get. Luckily for him, one of these CTs is actually going to give up his position throwing that smoke, and right there he could have actually just gone for the straight up peek. I talk a lot about limited information and isolating 1v1s, although it's very risky, and one of these CTs could easily be Nubox or Dark Spot. When someone gifts you a 1v1 and the time is ticking down, 25 seconds on the clock here, you're in a pretty big rush. Sometimes that's one of the situations you just have to take that 1v1. Catch him as the smoke is landing when he might still be out in the open. That's probably a very good risk to take. However, instead of that, he's going to try and smoke off the bomb, and he's going to try and plant in the smoke. And now smoking off the bomb isn't a bad idea. However, planting in it might be something that could be improved upon. When he plants in it, they're going to push up on him in matchmaking at least. Potentially, if you're watching a professional level game, they might play it a little bit differently and safer, but especially when you're playing matchmaking, you have to try and counter the standard play and not try and go 2 levels deep. Where at the pro scene, they might know that a fake plant is really good, so they try and play around that potential fake plant. When you're in matchmaking, the fake plant is really good, so do the fake plant and use that smoke as kind of a wall with which you can isolate 1v1s. You can play around it, create openings, and create 1v1s to put yourself in a good spot. So if he had faked the bomb there, or even if he hadn't faked the bomb, just tried to play around the smoke a little bit, he probably could have isolated at least one 1v1 and played out from there. Instead, he forces the bomb plant. Not a bad idea. He gets the extra money for his team, but it's almost unwinnable afterwards because of how many angles he has to worry about. So certainly some good plays there from Wonder, a couple of questionable moments, but overall played very well. It's just a terrible spot to be in. So we've got Zenix CS here. Face It rank 6 or 7. This is going to be another intermediate demo, and we've got them in a 2v5. And a 2v5 is going to play out pretty similar to how something like a 1v3 would, where you're looking for something, you're looking for anything to bring the round back in your favor. The first couple of kills are usually desperation, and there's this idea of resetting at some point. Because your opponents are starting to swarm in on your location, when you get a couple of kills, if you can go quiet and make them consider where you are and where you could be, you can make them kind of reset throughout the map and spread themselves out. However, if you get a kill or two and then continue attacking just like that through the same angle, they know exactly where you are, and again, you're not limiting their information, you're not isolating 1v1. So we're going to see Zenix here. He's going to grab a kill. He's going to go a bit more aggressive, pulling out a nade in the middle of the open. Definitely not the play, but he does get the second kill, and this is where we can stop, hammer time, and reset. The reason you need to reset here is just because of map awareness. Obviously, the T's can't teleport to the B site. It's going to take them at least about 20 seconds to get over there, so the CTs have a window where they don't need to rotate whatsoever, and for at least 5 to 7 seconds or so, they can hold 3 players waiting for any sort of play. Instead, what's going to happen here, Zenix is going to get even more aggressive. He's going to look for more when it's a 2v3, likely still in the mentality of the 2v5, then he needs to make a play, but that's not really necessary here. And as soon as he goes down, now we're back into a 1v3. And of course, a 1v3 much less winnable than a 2v3. And we'll go for the play, which is a smart idea. When you're in the 1v3, again, you're looking to make a play, grab a kill. So he got the kill, and now he can reset as well. He doesn't need to continue forward here either, but he'll do more of the same, walk his way kind of into the angle here and get shot in the back. And this is where things get a little bit awkward. But again, he's going to try and isolate that 1v1, and Jev gives it to him, right? So in his defense, he was given a 1v1, he simply couldn't win it. Now, how winnable the 1v1 from that exact position was online, Peeker's advantage, already hit, he's a one shot from a D, is a little bit questionable. However, the idea to go for it is not bad whatsoever. So to switch to the advanced level, we're going to have Jerk, who is fpl-c, rank G, and Project A professional, and he's going to be playing in an ESEA advanced match here. So that means they're all going to be Face It rank 10, ESEA A+ or better, and it's going to be a very interesting 1v3 here for Jerk, where actually his opponents mess up quite badly, but he plays it fairly well. So first off, they're in the 2v4 that is. MXJ will get 1 kill, and then he's going to fall, and Jerk will get get the quick trade quickly into the 1v2, but with only, 12 seconds to work with, he has to force the plant, and his opponents know that. So they try to make their way in as quickly as possible, but they're going to team flash each other, give Jerk some time to work with, and then he's going to use the fountain to isolate the 1v1. They line up behind each other, and he picks up the 1v2. So that's just proof there that even really high-level players that are playing, fpl-c and the like, sometimes make some pathetic and embarrassing plays, and that's exactly what that was. Flashbang. For another advanced level play here, I'll pick a game of my own. This is going to be a 1v2, and the important information to set up here is that we're well aware that the bomb is down at the back of connector and that the opponents have control of it. I believe my teammate actually threw this smoke to try and isolate this player towards short B. My teammate is going to end up dying to this player on short, and I'm going to try and quickly trade. Now, when I realize I can't trade, he's fallen back into the short tunnel, I just check if he's in the middle. If he's in the middle here, I can try and get the kill. As soon as I know he's at the back, I know I can isolate a player that is almost certainly going to be on top of the bomb, which he is. I win that gunfight, grab the bomb, and at this point, I'm fairly certain as well that the counter-terrorist isn't going to think I have time to actually make my way over to the A bomb site. I was pretty sure I had plenty of time to do it, and I did, but I was fairly sure this player would be rotating up, and actually I do hear him as he's making his way over. At this point, I can either go aggressive and make my way and try to play something like close on the corner outside of jump up, or even on truck holding an angle to catch him off guard, or the safer play would be either to fall back into bathrooms or do exactly what I do here, which is get to the headshot and just play the angle down here. I shouldn't have my knife out because he can actually spot the edge of my gun here, but because it's a matchmaking game and my teammates were kind of egging me on, I actually decided to try to knife him. Probably not the play, but in general, he's just got so many angles he has to clear out in this situation that there's almost no way he can actually win this one because I managed to grab the bomb, isolate the 1v1s earlier, and go to the bomb site when he didn't think I had time. So again, it's about managing the information. I knew he was in short tunnel, so I knew I could isolate the player on the bomb if he was going to go for the peak. If that player hadn't gone for the peak, I would have tried to turn back and kill the player's short tunnel. But because he did, I knew I could grab that bomb, go A, get the plant, and at that point, the round is pretty much over unless you do what I just did. So to close out the video, we've got Mauisnake. He's the second best looking person on Peeker's Advantage, and he's a professional analyst or player or something of the sort, and he's got a few clips here for you.
Hey guys, this is Mauisnake here, and I'm going to be showing you a couple of my clutches, one of which is pretty old. It's when I played MDL pretty seriously, and the other is actually pretty recent. It's when I've been smurfing main, which I've been doing kind of lately under an alternate account. So the first one is going to be a Deagle 4K, including a 1v3. So the way that this one starts, I'm in a 2v4 situation and looking to plant the bomb. The way this starts, though, is I thin out the numbers there with that kill onto Recchi. That was just kind of knowing that he took a shot with his op not too long ago. I knew I could thin the numbers out because he's probably going to be going for a repeak here, and it's something that I need to do if I want to actually win this round. Getting the bomb plant is pretty important in this kind of situation, but we actually had pretty good money, so I wasn't too worried about the economic implications of the plant. Rounds felt a little bit more important, so that probably is a good reason for trying to go for the kills and trying to go for the win. So I plant the bomb, still in a 2v3. Wes tries to go for a fight, and it's a good play on his part, but he just doesn't win the duel. It happens sometimes, so now I'm in a 1v3 situation. I know I have to thin the numbers even further because I really have no cover. They are going to be charging towards me, so I'm going to be going for a wide swing here, as you can see. So I swing out, I actually miss the shot, and Bo runs at me and just gives me a kill. So now there's two players left. I've already heard that they're scaling to the right, and Bo's critical error is actually going to make this a lot more winnable for me. I kind of know that they both want to scale on my right because they don't want to make the same mistake that Bo just did, where they just jump over there. There's no real good way to entry if they just kind of run straight at me like that. So Todor and Delta 9 are going to be swinging on my right here, so it gives me a good opportunity to play around this box and try to isolate these duels. If I stayed where I am around the box, there's a good chance that they're just going to double swing me and peek me, but if I am proactive about the situation, which is what I do, I have a better chance to potentially catch one either not looking the right direction or to just find one kind of isolated as the other one is overswinging to my right. So you'll see how it plays out right here. So I'm able to take down Tortor with a couple body shots, and then I'm just playing Ring Around the Rosie with Delta 9, and I'm able to find the kill onto him as well. Made it really hard for Delta 9. If you actually watch his POV, you'll see that his crosshair was just kind of going everywhere in that instance. Hey guys, this is the other clutch. As you can see, I'm playing under a different username. This is the name I use in ESEA main. I actually have a guy that pays me to win matches in main for him, so I take these matches pretty seriously still, but you'll see here how I play this clutch out. So the situation right now is when I was crossing towards triple, I was able to see a gust at catwalk there, and I know Sev just killed Mickey, my other teammate, when I was in a 2v2. I think there's a slight chance that Sev is going to go towards CT, so I want to take this isolated duel with a nice little flash here. This is going to just pop towards CT. If he actually decided to go back through murder hole towards CT spawn, this is just going to give me a free 1v1 because I know that his teammate was just catwalk a second ago. I saw him crossing, so going to be looking for the fight here. I don't see anything, so I know that they are going to be coming through connector here. So what I'm doing now is I'm looking for kind of an off angle that I'm comfortable with. Hopefully I can find them as they're crossing to the site, because I know they do have to. But right now they're going to throw the little utility that they have. They throw a smoke towards CT, which is actually pretty beneficial for me, and they throw a Molotov. The Molotov isn't very good either, so I'm going to try to take advantage of the utility that they threw here. So now I know that they're crossing to the site, and I'm going to throw the Molotov on the bomb so that really this guy that's on the site can't do anything, and his teammate, who I've heard cross now kind of towards toll booth here, is to this right area. And I'm just going to throw my flash, and the flash, I'm not really going to be looking for a kill off of it because it's not really that good or anything. They're going to hear it. It's pretty obvious that they should be able to see it too, but it's just going to add a little bit of confusion to the round, and I know that I have the time and space to do it given that the smoke and the Molotov is here. So I throw that. And I spam the smoke. I heard the guy get over there, and he kind of gives me this one with that jump right there. That's just a poor mechanical decision from him. He probably thought that he could see over the smoke given its bloom, but yeah, this is just the bad utility from the other team, and I'm taking advantage of it. Kind of gifted that kill. So in this instance, I kind of thought that the smoke might give me more of a one-way. I wasn't actually keeping track perfectly of where the bloom was, so I thought that I would probably be able to peek under it. It's kind of like when people throw a really bad CT smoke on an A exec on Mirage. You can kind of see under the bottom left corner of it usually, and you can kill people planting default. I kind of figured the same thing would happen here, but Sev, he actually had a better angle on me than I figured, so he just tapped the bomb. So I know his crosshair is at least going to be a little bit wonky in that instance, but I take the fight anyways, and I just find the instant headshot, and I pretty much needed it because he actually was connecting his shots with me, and if he hit one more, I would have died. But that's just what a good aim can do for you, and pretty much just confidence. So actually a little overconfident as a matter of fact, but yeah, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two about isolating the duels here and the risk reward between taking some of these fights. So thanks Vu for having me on your channel, and as always, being toxic is a choice.
That's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button and give Mauisnake a follow, and hit up the links in the description for him, but also for my Patreon. Hit it up if you want. Sub to the channel, hit it with a like, and we'll catch you next time.